"We didn't start the war, but we will end it," Benjamin Netanyahu said after the gruesome Hamas attack on Israel.
Israel is at war. We didn't want this war. It was forced upon us in the most brutal and savage way. But though Israel didn't start this war, Israel will finish it.
This attack by the Hamas took place on October 7, which was the day of Shemini Atzeret. A special prayer for rain is recited on this day by the Jews. So what happened? Hamas terrorists used hand gliders to skydrop in parts of southern Israel. Similarly, they bulldozed through the sophisticated ground fences and entered the region in thousands, shooting, killing, and kidnapping injured civilians and soldiers from Israel. It was a significant blow to Israel, marking the first successful breach of their defenses since the Yom Kippur War 50 years prior. How did this happen? To answer this question, we need to understand the existing ground realities. The area in question has two Palestinian pockets on two sides of Israel, the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. West Bank is controlled by the Palestinian Authority and the Gaza Strip is commanded by Hamas. Following the takeover of Gaza from the Palestinian Authority in 2007, both Israel and Egypt initiated an economic blockade, leading some to describe Gaza as an open-air prison. Several world powers, including Israel, the US, the European Union, and the UK, have designated Hamas as a terror group. Interestingly, all financial support from across the globe comes to Gaza via the Palestinian Authority. Residents in these pockets do come through the fence formally to earn their livelihood in Israel, because Palestine is not yet a UN-recognized nation. On the borders, both these areas have $1 billion worth high-tech security border fencing, with sensors to track anything under the ground, on the fence, and above it. Politically, there is some bit of civilian support for the Hamas in West Bank, for which any violent action taken by the terror group cannot be openly decried by the Palestinian Authority, as it loses its mass acceptance. Equally important is the fact that all electricity, drinking water, and food supplies are routed through Israel. Now let's talk a bit about the population breakup. Over 3 million stay in West Bank, 2 million plus in Gaza, and around 2 million Arabs are Israeli citizens residing in the mainland nation. The 2 million Arab population in Israel has rights of franchise, but with limitations. These Arab citizens, constituting over 20% of the Israeli population, enjoy legal rights, but systematic challenges persist. Arab political parties often grapple for representation. Another important issue is that of Jerusalem. This is a holy place of three Abrahamic religion practitioners: Jews, Christians, and Muslims. Israel gained control of Palestinian East Jerusalem from Jordan during the 1967 war. The move was never recognized by the international community, but Israel declared the city its undivided capital. Population of the city is divided between Israeli Jews and Palestinians. Meanwhile, Palestinians envisage East Jerusalem as their future state's capital. The city thrives with a diverse populace, including Israeli Jews, Palestinians, and a mix of secular and ultra-Orthodox Jewish communities. So what could be the possible trigger point for this attack? In the year 2020, the world was seeing the signing of the Abraham Accords, a series of bilateral agreements on Arab-Israel normalization signed between Israel, UAE, and Bahrain on September 15. This deal was being mediated by US. As part of the dual agreement, both the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain recognized Israel's sovereignty, enabling the establishment of full diplomatic relations. Netanyahu recently proclaimed at the UN about a forthcoming historical Middle Eastern accord between Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Israel. That has left many wondering about the Palestinians' fate.
That we are at the cusp of an even more dramatic breakthrough, an historic peace between Israel and Saudi Arabia. We must not give the Palestinians a veto over new peace treaties with Arab states. The Palestinians could greatly benefit from a broader peace. They should be part of that process, but they should not have a veto over the process. And I also believe that making peace with more Arab states would actually increase the prospects of making peace between Israel and the Palestinians.
In this scenario, a big question that came up was what happens to the Palestinians? It was almost as if the world has forgotten the question looming large in this region and the fate of over 5 million people. Another issue that has cropped up is about the defense. It is true that Israeli intelligence agencies are supposed to be best in the world. Most global security analysts are baffled by the fact that the breach of these fences, almost like a walkthrough for thousands of terrorists, did not get a fast reaction from the Israeli Defense Forces or the IDF.
We're definitely the IDF, the entire defense establishment, obviously, has been caught unawares, and this is a tremendous failure of the defensive efforts, a failure that will have to be rigorously examined, and tough questions will be asked by Israeli civilians living in those communities to the defense establishment. How did this happen, and why didn't you prevent it?
Many such events in the world have occurred that raise questions on intelligence failures, such as 9/11 in the US, Kargil and 26/11 in India, and now this in Israel. Recent reports from the Associated Press suggest that Egypt has cautioned Israel of a significant impending event, hinting at possible intelligence oversight by the Israelis. Amidst these tensions, international dynamics are also in play. Hamas has confirmed that it has got support from Iran. While some nations in the region have kept quiet, a few have condemned this heinous crime while reminding the legacy questions. But what remains to be seen is, as the US naval carrier, Stryker, and destroyers are on their way, B-52 bombers has already landed. How much of the devastation and loss to human life would it take before some kind of normalcy returns, and what would the normalcy look like? If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe and click the bell icon. Thanks for watching.